You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of An Hour with Bob. We're here tonight. We got a good treat for you tonight. We have two beautiful young ladies. They're both Miss and Miss Teen Rhode Island. We'll see them in a second. We're not going to see them yet, right? We're not ready to see them. You don't deserve to see them yet. We got things to do first. Do you know, I got to ask you a question. Did you ever have something on your face and you went into the bathroom and you spotted it and you said, how the heck long has that been there? My question to you is, have you ever been in front of somebody and noticed something on their face, on their clothes, on their body somewhere that is out of place and makes them look bad, and you did or didn't say something? I think that you probably didn't say something. Most people don't. I work in the State House, as most people know, and I deal with politicians all the time, and I'm constantly leaning into them and telling them, you know, you got something hanging from the corner of your mouth, or you got something on your face, or your hair's sticking up, or something like that. But most people don't do that. Most people won't tell people because they're embarrassed to say something, or they feel like, I don't know, what would you feel like? Would you do it? Would you? The question is to you, the question of the night is, would you say something if you saw someone that had something on their face and you're in a public place? Would you say something, and how would you say it? Would you say it loudly so everybody else could hear it and embarrass them there? Or would you lean over to them, as I tell you I do, and tell them quietly? Or would you not tell them at all? And also, if it was a friend, you might think differently than if it was an enemy, right? If it's an enemy, you might want them to be embarrassed, right? All right, on with the show. We'll get back to another question because we're going to talk about tonight's presidential speech tonight. But we'll talk about that after I deal with two beautiful young ladies. We have Miss Rhode Island. Is it 2018 or 2019?
Yes. Miss Rhode Island, USA, 2019.
2019. When did you become Miss Rhode Island 2019?
On
Nicole?
September 9th.
September 9th. Where was it?
It was at the Vets
Veterans
Theater.
Auditorium. Veterans Memorial Auditorium.
Yes, in Providence.
Yeah. And had you ever been in a pageant or any kind of contest like that? Actually, I was thinking of a contest before.
So that was actually my fourth time competing.
It was.
I competed twice as a teen and then twice as a miss. So luckily on the fourth try, I finally took home the title.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Thank
now,
you.
I always wonder what people think and what they feel like when they don't win and they see the person winning saying, she's not as good looking as I am, or she's not this, or she doesn't have that, or she does have that and I don't have that, or something, whatever. Are you critiquing them when you?
No, not really. I mean, during pageant weekend, we are actually becoming like really good friends with all of the other contestants. So you are happy. I'm being completely honest with you. I am.
I wouldn't be.
I mean, everything happens for a
Nicole
reason.
Pelosi, I'm sorry, I never even mentioned your name.
Yes, my name is Nicole Pelosi. I'm Miss Rhode Island, USA, 2019.
19.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how come 2019 was chosen in 2018?
Because we're actually going to be competing for the national titles in 2019.
Okay, I knew the answer to that question, but I wanted you to tell
yes.
me. And where are you competing?
For Miss USA and Miss Teen USA. They haven't announced it yet. Sometimes they only tell us about a month before the pageant, so we're not sure where or when it's going to be.
Okay, and what's the difference between USA and America?
There are a few differences. So America started off as a scholarship-based pageant. They are the leading scholarship like provider in the entire country.
Right.
So that is the main difference. And in America, you also compete in a talent portion as well.
Right. Okay. So that's the difference. So you could actually, after this is your reign is done, you could.
I could
jump
cross over.
Right?
Yes.
There are people who've done that, right?
Yep. There are so many people from all different
many of them
states.
have done that over the years because most of the pageant winners have come on the show over the years.
Yeah. So it could be an option.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And Olivia Volpe. Now, you're Miss Teen Rhode Island.
Yes.
Now, were you also crowned the same day?
Yes, we were. We
You
were
were?
crowned together. Yeah.
Did you know each other before?
No, we did
Not
not.
at all?
Nope. I didn't.
Wow.
I did not
Before.
see her the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Until
Yes.
that moment on stage where
She grabbed my hand.
we held hands and stuck them up.
No kidding. Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Now, where are you from? I didn't ask you that.
I'm from Providence, Rhode Island.
You're from Providence.
And I'm from Cranston.
Cranston and Providence. Now, you both seem to have, you got that, well, you got the Italian, both of you are Italians, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, what do you think? Why is that? There are a lot of Italians that win these contests. Why is that?
I don't know.
I guess it just happens. I mean, Rhode Island is filled with Italians, so maybe
There
that's
are a
it.
lot of Italians, and I mean, you got Pelosi, Venturini, and Volpe. Yeah, at this VPV,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right there. And dads are over here.
Yes.
And I know one of the dads here. Where is he? I know this guy. From a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't know that.
No? Well, you learn things on this show. Everybody does, you know. Now, where do you go to school?
I go to Cranston West.
Cranston
Yeah.
West.
So it's a public school.
I know that. When I was a kid, I went to Pawtucket West, which isn't even a school anymore.
Yeah.
It's called Shea now.
Oh, okay.
It's
I've
called
heard of
Shea.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Pawtucket West and Cranston West. And what year are you in?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior.
Yeah.
And college. What are you looking at? Oh, are you looking at?
Yes, I'm looking at. I'm going to go to a four-year college.
Okay.
And I'm just looking around like local schools, so like URI, Rick, stuff like
I'm
that.
sure Dad is happy with that. Mom's
Yes.
happy with that.
Yes, they are. But
Yeah. And Rick's a very good school, by
yes,
the way.
especially they have a good program for my major,
What-
psychology.
Which is? Oh, psychology.
Yeah, so.
Now, what do you want to do in psychology?
Well, I've struggled with like very bad anxiety my whole life. So
Okay.
I like to help others who also struggle with it.
Yeah.
So I want to be a art therapist, which is where I would do arts and
Right.
painting with like kids who struggle
Right.
with mental illnesses. So
Now, when you say anxiety, what do you mean? What would you consider anxiety? Anxiety attacks?
yes,
Did anything bring them on specifically?
for me
Pressure?
specifically,
Yeah.
yes, just like stress,
Stress.
and stuff like that. It's really unfortunate that a lot of people have to go through this.
Right.
But I've learned how to cope with it and build like a way to cope with my anxiety, and it's better for me now.
Yeah. Can you tell people that? And you want to tell people that, how you cope with it?
It's honestly just through you dealing with it yourself. It's hard that you have to find out your own way
Okay.
to get over it. It just took me a while.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I can understand that. And we'll get back to you in a second now.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get you riled here.
I know.
Where did you go to school? Or where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school at LaSalle Academy, and I graduated in 2014.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And
And then I went to college. I went to the University of Rhode Island, and I actually just graduated in this past May.
look at you.
Yeah, I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration with a focus in marketing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. And are you working now? Or you?
Yep, so for the past 6 months, I worked at Kantar. It was a global marketing research agency, but I decided that I wanted some change. So actually yesterday, I started real estate classes at the Real Estate Institute of Rhode Island.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you.
I've
So
done
I'm
that.
excited about something new.
Exactly. You can make a lot of money in real estate if you can really get out there
Yes.
and meet people. It's all about real estate's all about meeting people.
Yes,
It's all about how many people you
communication.
meet. Yes, you meet people, you get comfortable with people, they get comfortable with you, and if they feel that you got to know what you're doing. Though. You really got to get the books and know exactly what you're doing when it comes to contracts and all of the variables.
Yes.
Pricing a house right and selling a house right, and talking people into selling their house,
Yes.
talking people into buying a house, and all that.
Yes,
good
it's
stuff.
a lot of work, but I'm really excited about the classes. I'm enjoying them as well. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Wow.
Yes.
That's good. That's
Thank you.
good. And are you going to work when you go to college?
Am I going
Yeah.
to? Yes. I mean, right now, I just babysit locally, like some
Yep.
families around my neighborhood.
Yep.
and I used to organize like papers for where my mom works and stuff. So I'm gonna go back to that. So yeah.
Now, where does Mom work? Oh,
She
you don't have
works
to say
at-
the company. Just what kind of
It's like a
business?
law firm.
A law firm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I help them around there stay organized.
Oh yeah. Would you ever think of being a lawyer?
No, I don't think. I don't think.
I don't
think
blame you.
could.
By the
I
way.
don't think I could.
I don't blame you. What do you mean you couldn't? Of course you could.
I would feel like sympathy. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can be sympathetic with your clients.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, you could be sympathetic with your clients. Why not? I think some lawyers are sympathetic. Not
Yeah.
many of them, but I mean, some lawyers are sympathetic.
I know. I don't think it's for me.
No.
No.
Well, you don't want, by the way, that's something, and that's good. You don't want to do something just because there's money in it.
Yeah.
You want to do something that you're comfortable with, that you like.
And you
you
know.
enjoy.
Because it's not, you don't want to do something that's going to be a job for 45 or 50 years. You want to do
Exactly.
something that,
That
you
you
like.
like, yeah.
Because if you like it, it's not a job. And it's not hard to go to work when you like something. Like I like going into the State House. I enjoy going into the State House. But I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. But I'm at that point in my life that I can pick and choose. But when you're starting out, the mistake people make is they'll pick a job or a profession just because they know they can make money in it, or they think they can make money in it. And they get in a job and they're miserable
Yeah.
for 30 or 40 years doing it. That doesn't even make sense, does it?
No.
No.
Being
Yeah.
a psychology person.
Yeah, my mom has always told me that you don't want to work to make a living. You want to work to make a life. So you want to actually like
There
enjoy
you
what
go.
you're doing and make sure that like you're happy at your actual job.
A smart lady.
Yes, she is.
Now, where are you from originally?
Providence.
You are from Providence.
Yes.
You're originally from Cranston? Born and bred in Cranston, born and
Yes.
bred in Providence, huh? All right, boyfriends. Oh, maybe, did I hit something already?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I see the look.
You can go Nicole first.
I do have a boyfriend. His name is Justin.
Well, you didn't have, well, go ahead, you didn't have to give me the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I do have a boyfriend. His name is Justin.
What does he think about you in the pageant?
He actually like had a lot of fun at the pageant. It was his first time ever going to one, and he really didn't know what to expect. I mean, I tried to like prepare him for
yeah,
it because obviously it's something totally different than going to say like a football game or
Something
any
that
other
he likes to
event.
go to.
Exactly. But he had a lot of fun, and he actually wants to come to Miss USA. Him and
can't
his
blame
family.
him.
So I'm excited to have
I
him
can't
along.
blame him. He wants to come to Miss USA. Gee, that's a surprise. Huh?
So I'm lucky to have him.
Wow. Okay. I went to her first.
Yes, I have a boyfriend.
You do.
Yeah, his name is Liam.
Liam. That's a cool name.
Yeah.
Is he related to the Liam, the actor there? Or is he named after Liam?
Liam Hemsworth?
No,
What?
never
You
mind.
said
You don't know what I'm
actor.
There's a
talking
lot
about.
of actors.
Liam, isn't his name Liam? Am I talking about the right guy?
There's a lot of actors.
The actor Liam. Huh? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know who it is.
You don't know who he is? What was the movie he did?
Taken.
Taken.
Oh,
Did 3 movies out of.
don't
Taken.
know.
Great movies.
Liam Neeson, isn't that his name?
I probably would know if I saw him. I just don't know.
You
I
didn't
will
see the
find
movies?
you and I will kill you.
No.
You
is
seen
what
any of
he
the
says.
movies? Liam Neeson?
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Those were good movies.
They're great movies.
I'm
At
sure
least
they
the
are.
first one was, but you know, when they get to the second and third, they get
Yeah.
a little stupid, a little stupid after a while.
You have a feeling what's going to happen.
So when you won,
Yeah.
well, first of all, was this your first pageant? Or not?
Yes.
It was your 1st? Really?
It was. I signed up a month before, and
Now, why did you sign up?
well, okay. So back to my anxiety. I just decided that I needed to step out of my comfort zone and I needed to try something new, and I knew someone who was a former Miss Rhode Island.
Yep.
And she also struggled with anxiety
Yep.
and things. So she said how it really made her blossom and like feel so much better about herself. So I was like,
Good.
okay, and I did it.
Very good.
And yeah.
And how did you feel as a result?
Well, beforehand I was very nervous, like going
Yep.
on stage. But as I was on stage, I felt so much more confident in myself, and it was really a cool feeling. So it worked.
Well, I got to tell you something. You're doing better right now on this platform in front of 3 cameras than most people do in the first 10, 15 minutes of a show. Do you know that?
Thank you.
I'm serious. I'm serious. Most people, I'll bet you half of the people, fidgeting and wreck, a nervous wreck. And you've handled it very well.
Thank you.
So
I try.
This is good for you. This
Yes,
is good for you for,
it
your,
is.
for your career.
It's the anticipation.
It always is.
Yes.
Because believe it or not, I'm nervous before I start a show. That's not true. Actually, a little bit. Sometimes I
Every now
am.
and then.
Sometimes I am, and it has happened. I mean, I've had people on this, well, sometimes I used to use a desk, a lower desk, and you know, like a Jay Leno type setup. And I had a guy on one night, and he was sweating so bad. He was a big guy, first of all, and this poor guy was, he was a radio guy for years. Been on the radio for years. A microphone, but radio's different than
Yeah,
television.
you don't
is.
see the face.
And I felt so bad for him. He was dying. It was literally pouring off him. I had to go to a break for him because he was getting so. I thought he was going to collapse.
Oh no.
That's sad.
That's
He
also
didn't,
why I
right?
keep it. No, I keep it. That's why I keep it
Okay.
cooler in there for people, not only for me. I like it cooler anyway, but I keep it cooler for people because when you're anxious and nervous, you sweat. Well,
Yes.
guys do anyway.
Yep.
Girls don't sweat, do they? Girls sweat.
Depends.
Every now and then.
A little bit,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
But I mean, guys sweat. We sweat, and this poor guy was a wreck. And I had a very well-known television meteorologist on here one night, and it was back in the time when we used to do it live, totally live. And he sat there, and we started talking for a couple minutes, and the TV was on, and he realized that it was the TV matched what he was saying, and
So
he
it was
went,
live.
"This is live?" And I go, "You do a show every night live." But he doesn't. When those people are on TV, everybody, the sportscasters, the weather, the anchors, they're looking at, see that camera right there?
Yes.
That box right there?
Is
That's a
that
teleprompter.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
not
yes.
on. You know it's a teleprompter, it's not on.
Yes.
But at any TV studio you go in, you'll see the wording. All they read the news, they read
Yes.
the weather. Well, the weathermen, they do more of their own. But the newscasters and the sportscasters read. Somebody else wrote that, or they may have written it, but it's put on a reel, and
Gotcha.
they read, and they just read. So you could, I don't know, they've had movies about TVs, studios, and whatever, and somebody will inadvertently, on purpose, mess it up, and the guy will be talking something, and all of a sudden a swear word will come up,
Yeah.
and they'll
Oh,
just say
no.
it. They'll just say it
Yep.
because they're just
Just natural.
reading. It just proves that they, in fact, read, and they're just good-looking people, and that can read well, and can read from a distance.
True.
And that's why they're in front of a camera, in most cases. In fact, I had a woman on the show 3 times, and she ended up on national television. She is in the #1 station in the country
Wow.
in New York City right now. She was on Channel 12 for 5 years before they even put her in front of the camera. She was
Wow.
just answering phones and, and making calls to each city to find out what's going on. The police department, did they catch a robber? You know, was there a car accident, something like that? In fact, when she came on my show, and I asked her how long she'd been working at Channel 12. She said 5 years, and she just got on in front of the camera. I said, "You've been there 5 years, and you just put you in front of the camera?" She goes, "Well, yeah, it takes a little while." A little
Takes
while.
practice.
5 years. But for some reason, either they didn't think she could read the news. I don't know what their reason was, because it made no sense to me. I mean, you look at the woman, she's beautiful. In fact, if you could get on Channel 2 in New York, the CBS affiliate, which is WCBS, she's the anchor at the 6 and the 11 o'clock news, and has been there for about 7 or 8 years. But before that, she was on the show 3 times.
Who is it?
Christine Johnson.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of them. In fact, there's a guy on Channel 5, the sports in New York, Harry. He went to LaSalle.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
He graduated from LaSalle about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. And he's again, New York is the #1 market in the country. New York first, LA second. I think Dallas or San Francisco, Chicago might be third. Anyway, he's from Providence, Rhode Island. And
Small world.
and he's out there doing very well. But I don't know how did I get off on that?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
How did I go on that?
I don't
know. Why did you end up joining the pageant? Was it just because of your anxiety, or did somebody say to you, "You're a good-looking girl, why don't you be in the pageant"? That must have come up.
Yes, it did, but normally I tend to do things when I feel comfortable doing it.
Right.
So I had been like prompted to do it multiple times before, but I just wasn't personally ready. And then this one time, I decided that I just needed to get it over with and do it, and I did.
Now, what are you involved in school? You doing anything special in
Yes,
school?
I don't do sports, so I do a lot in my school.
Now that surprises me because you got the height,
Yeah.
right? You got the size.
I have arthritis, so it hurts.
Oh no!
Yeah, but in
Me too.
I know. Oh, I
Probably a
know.
lot more than you, hopefully.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So what do you do instead of sports?
I'm vice president of my class, which
Oh,
is cool.
very
for
good.
2 years, yes.
For what? For 2 years?
Yeah, I've been it for the past 2
Oh
years.
wow.
I'm in SAD, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions. That's pretty cool too.
That's wow. I never heard of that one before.
It's like
Students Against Destructive Decisions.
yeah. So like
I wouldn't have been in that
drugs.
when I was in school. I definitely
not
wouldn't have been
good.
in that if I was in school, in high school, or when I was in high school, because I had a lot of problems with destructive decisions.
Oh no.
Go ahead, but not drugs or nothing like that.
Okay,
just
good.
being destructive. No, go ahead.
What else am I in? I'm in student leadership, so that's like a group of kids throughout my school of all different grades. Like we're all chosen, and we represent my school, that's
Right.
pretty cool. I'm also a Red Storm leader, which is my school.
It's another one I don't even know. I never heard.
This one isn't.
What the?
It's for my specific school. It's like a fan section.
Cranston West.
Yes. So the fan section, like all of the students who go to like the games and the
Yeah.
football games. So it's like a group of 4 of us. We get chosen, and we choose like themes for games and like things like that.
Okay.
So I'm in that. Best Buddies. Nicole does Best Buddies too.
Oh, and what is that?
Do you want to explain it?
Sure. So Best Buddies is an organization where all different students who may have any type of disability, they can go. There's Meeting Street School, and you can go and do different like activities with them. They have different fundraisers and all stuff, different stuff throughout the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. In my school, we like pair one student who has like intellectual disabilities with someone who doesn't, and it's kind of like a buddy system.
Right.
So I love that.
So you do a lot.
Yes.
I'd have anxiety doing all the stuff you do.
Yeah. It's.
Really?
But I like it. It keeps me occupied.
It makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Now, are you an only child?
No, I have a sister, a younger sister.
Just one. And you?
I have an older brother.
Both of you only got one?
Yes.
Talk about anxiety. I had 8 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
And my father died when he was 36 years old. My mother was only 30 when my father died, and my youngest brother wasn't even born yet. He was born
Oh
6
my
weeks
gosh.
after my father died.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so the oldest was only 13. I was 7.
So you're like in the middle.
Yeah.
You're a middle child.
A middle, oh yeah, middle child. They get the short end of it. The middle children. So the youngest kids get the best, right? The youngest
Yes.
kids always make out the best.
Yes.
The oldest kid actually, I think, gets the short end
Yes.
the most, I think. And the middle kids are usually the most independent. It seems to be. In fact, that's what most studies say.
Studies,
I studied sociology and politics. I majored in college. But do you ever think of politics?
Do I ever?
Yeah, do you ever think of, oh, are you involved in politics? I should ask you this question. You're a little bit older, a couple of years older than me. Are you graduated from college. Are you involved in politics? Do you have a political, you don't have to tell me exactly what your affiliation is, but are you involved in politics?
I
you
do
look
keep
at
up. I
politics?
keep
You
up with politics during
Yeah.
the presidential election and everything that happens in between. I think at the moment I haven't chosen my personal party.
Okay. Well, I think I grew up as a Democrat, but I think I'm more of an independent than a Democrat. I have been for a number of years. And I won't ask you to tell me what you think of the president, but I'm going to tell you what I think of the president. I think that when he was running for office, I said, oh, it's got to be something different, a change. We need a change because at the time Congress had only like a 15% approval rating. That's like ridiculously low. I mean, nobody gets only a 15% approval rating, but that's how much the American public thought how bad our congressmen and our senators were. So it looked like it was going to be a fresh light, this guy coming in and, somebody that's not a politician, so to speak, but it ended up not being
fresh.
it. I think if he had stayed away from Twitter,
And
if he
social
did not
media.
do Twitter, and he did not insult everybody he talked to, I think he probably could do some great things. But right now the standoff is it's not because the Democrats are against the wall. It's not because Republicans are strongly in favor of the wall. we do need a wall. We do need a barrier. We absolutely, I think, we need some kind of a barrier. It makes no sense to just leave it open and let people run across the border because you have no control over who they are, what they are, where they're from. You're familiar with the group MS-13?
I have not.
You know? That's one of the most vicious
thought.
gangs in the world.
Oh, wow.
MS-13, and they're predominantly from Central and South America. And where do they come from? How did they get in this country?
The border?
Most of them come across the border, sneak across the border. In fact, they just caught a guy killed a cop in West Coast somewhere last week. He was another one of those guys that was illegal. You know, we need people from other countries. That's what this country's all about. It's a melting pot. But we also need to know who's coming in and who they are. And sadly, because of the people hate him so much, the Democrats, they're so against his wall or whatever. And that was a mistake anyway, calling the wall, because now that people like me refer to it a wall, you think of the Berlin Wall, which was taken down before you guys were both born. But walls don't make any sense, but a border does make sense. And this thing tonight, I'm dying to see. I'm hoping I get home in time to see what's going on. Well, I'm sure I'll hear about it anyway. They'll have all kinds of talk about it, but I'm sure he's got to do something stupid. He's got to say something stupid. And you know what I said to people when he was running, and there were 16 or 17 candidates on the Republican side running, if you remember? All he did was insult people. Remember, he called the guy from Florida, Little Marco, and he called Lion Ted Cruz, and he was using all these names for these guys, established senators, those two guys anyway. And the mistake they made is they didn't, as a political operative, I would have told my guy, whoever my guy was, I would have said, call him Donnie. Not one person ever has called him Donnie or Little Donnie, because that's how you deal with a bully like that. Because they're doing that because they want to get the lead on you. They want to get you on your back feet so you're not nailing them on their inadequacies. And the easiest way to off-track that is to do what they're doing to you. And that's what they weren't doing. They should have done that long before, and they would have stopped this guy, because I think that that's all they had to do. And unfortunately, we got a stalemate, and people are got to be losing their houses, and well, maybe not losing their houses, but they've got to fall back on their mortgages and taxes and insurance and feeding their families and everything else because of the stupid thing that's in its 18th day, I think. No. But now that I give my little political genre there, but I see from what you're doing that you're heading in that direction in politics.
I don't like to involve myself in it, at least right now.
But you know what my definition of politics is?
What?
The ability to deal with and manipulate people for good, hopefully. But what you do when you deal with people, you're in the buddy thing and you're in these other programs, you're dealing with people, right? You're grouping with people. You're in organizations. That's politics, and to me, that's politics. Because politics doesn't have any straight definition. You know, some people think it's the ability to manipulate people, but I think it's the ability to organize and group with people and do things for the betterment of something. You know, and I think that's what you're doing, and I think it's great. And you too. What else are you in?
So when I was in college, I was pretty involved. I started off as a tour guide. So I was a tour guide at the University of Rhode Island, and then I
toured where? What do you mean? You toured around the school?
Yeah. So whenever prospective students,
that is a big school. Yeah.
It was a big school. The entire tour was about 2 miles. So just giving a tour was a little workout in itself.
Wow.
But I did tour guiding, and then throughout my years, I did all 4 years at URI. I was on the executive board for 2 years, so that was a great experience.
Same thing, yeah. Now, the executive board of what?
Of the tour guiding team. So it was a team of over 100 tour guides. During my first time on the executive board, I was the group tour coordinator.
So she's the vice president of a school. You're the on the board of the board of directors.
Yeah, yes. Yep.
Oh, pretty cool.
Yeah, so I did that. I was a URI 101 mentor at URI. So
what's that?
So URI 101 was a
101 would be the freshman.
Yes. So it was a course for the freshmen in the College of Business that introduced them to all the different stuff that URI had to offer. So it helped them with their course load, how to get involved, how to keep up with their grades, stuff like that, just to make sure that they were accustomed. I was an orientation leader. So I did a lot for the school while I was there.
Wow.
Yes.
My niece works at the school.
Really?
Yeah.
Where does she work?
Works in horticulture.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. And I've had a few professors on this stage from URI.
Wonder if I've had any of them.
What?
I said I wonder if I've had any of them.
One guy does the forensic stuff.
I never took a forensics course.
I'm taking that.
You have?
I'm taking it next semester at my school. It's a new class.
Well, you know what you should do? You should go to one of the seminars on a Friday afternoon. I can get you hooked up to be allowed to get in the seminars. It starts at 3 o'clock. And they have people from all over the country, all over the world go to this. They even have the world famous forensic guy from Connecticut there, Dr. Lee or whatever his name is. It's a short Asian name. I think it's Lee. I think that's the name. Anybody know? The forensic guy, the famous forensic guy. You know, and you folks, you kids are way too young to remember this, but the Son of Sam, do you ever hear of that? Son of Sam was a guy that was a real nutcase, and in New York, he was in New York killing people. And he would leave like little clues all over the place. I don't know how many people he killed.
That's weird.
I think it was a dozen or more. He killed all over New York. And do you know URI, the forensic lab and URI were partially credited with his capture.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also, URI, I was down there. I actually toured the place too. Besides having him on the show, his name will come to me. I went down to see the setup they have down there. And they also examined the gun that supposedly killed Martin Luther King.
Really?
Yeah. It's a world-renowned forensic lab they have down there.
Never
forensic,
checked it
it's
out,
a whole,
yeah.
it's a whole building they have down there for forensic. God damn, I can't think of his name. I can't think of his name. But it'll come to me.
It'll come to you.
Yeah,
Well,
randomly.
yes.
Yeah, when I'm not thinking of it.
Exactly.
It'll come to me. But if I was going to do it all over again, I would probably take, even if I wasn't going that direction, I would probably take that course just to,
Yes.
because I got to see, you ever see on TV when they say these crime dramas and they
Yes,
they
like
show
CSI
yeah,
and all those
You ever
shows.
see when they have the glass case and they have smoke coming in the glass case and you ever see that?
Platform?
They have a glass
Something like
case.
arises.
Yes.
Yes.
And they find the fingerprints on something. Like
Yes,
normal
yes, yes,
fingerprints
yes.
they get by putting this stuff that's magnetized on paper. If it was on paper, that's easy to get a fingerprint. But if you got a plastic bag or a coat or something or a shirt, it's a little more difficult. So what they do is they put the piece of the article inside this chamber. It's a plastic or glass enclosure.
Okay.
And they hang the things up and they heat up this solution and it creates a vapor and the vapor attaches to the fingerprints.
That's cool.
Very
And
cool.
guess what the vapor is?
What?
They found out purely by accident. What they do is they have a little hole in the little concave, a little curved hole in it, and they slide the little plate in there onto the hot plate, and it heats up the stuff that was put in that hot plate, and it becomes a vapor, and it attaches to the article. It's super glue.
Really?
Yeah.
You never would have
They
guessed
heat
that.
up super glue, turns into a vapor, and it attaches to your fingerprints.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Isn't that cool? And it was found out by accident by a New York detective. I don't know what he was doing with glue. He was sniffing it or something. He was doing something weird with glue, and he figured out that, wow, this could work for finding out fingerprints, and that's how they use it all the time. All forensic labs use it. And I also was in where they shoot the gun, and you ever see this? You may have seen it on one of these crime dramas where they're testing the ballistics, how they test the ballistics on the gun. They have to fire the gun to make a bullet come out so they can check the chamber, what the chamber did to the bullet. Your bullet passes through the barrel of a gun, right? When it passes through the barrel, it spirals, and it creates grooves on the bullet itself. Well, every gun is different, so every bullet is going to be different. So when they get a bullet shot at somebody and they pull it out of them and they want to match it forensically, ballistics, you heard that. I'm sure you've heard that name before, that word before. They'll take the bullet that was taken from the body or whatever, and then they take a bullet, they'll take that gun that they think it came from, and they'll shoot it into a tank of water. This big tank of water, and water stops the bullet. If they shoot it in the water, it'll travel, 3 feet, but it won't travel 6 feet. And they got a 6-foot-long chamber, and the bullet's shot in there, and then they open it, and they take the bullet out, and they put it up against that. They put it on a microscope and they'll turn them around and see if they match. And they do that down there too.
Really?
Yeah,
See, I
that was
never
pretty
knew that.
cool. It's
I was a
pretty
tour
cool.
guide and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you were there for 4
I
years.
know, exactly. Guess
near
I'll
the
have to go
Chafee
back
building.
and visit.
It's near the Chafee building.
Really? Okay, that makes
I think
sense. That's the
it's
science
either in the
district.
Chafee building or the building next to the Chafee building. I'm not sure which. I've only been down there, I mean, at that place once. Begins with N, I think his name. It's got to kill me. It's got to drive me crazy trying to figure out.
It'll come to you.
N?
I think.
N. Lee?
No, N is his last name. I think
No,
that's his N. It begins with an N. It'll come to me.
Oh, Lee N.
Oh, no, Lee isn't. No. This is the guy that, the professor down at URI. He runs the forensic class. All right, so after this is all over, I know you're early on because you haven't even really, you're only, what, 5 months into your reign?
Yes.
What do your friends think?
My friends are all for it. They have been by my side. I've gone to all the pageants for the past 5 years.
Really?
4 times that I've competed. So they're really excited for me. A lot of them actually took videos when like my crowning moment was happening, and in the background they're all screaming and crying. Yep.
They all ran up to the stage.
Yes.
I
they're really
I have
excited.
taken pictures because I know a few of the people. And in fact, I actually judged one of the pageants.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you judge?
And it was, it had to be 10 years ago.
Do you remember the winners?
I do, but I can't think of her name. Yeah, I do remember one. Jen was her first name. I know her married name is Cornell. Jen Cornell is her name. Her married name. I don't remember her maiden name. And the young girl was from northern Rhode Island. And I picked them both.
Really?
I had picked both winners that year.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
big.
Yeah,
The
a lot of
teen
contestants.
pageant was huge.
A lot
They
of them.
had a ton of girls.
Really?
Oh my God! It was like 100 or more. It was.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was unbelievable.
this year I
the
had
other pageant was
28.
big. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Miss Rhode Island pageant was also very big. Had like 45 or something
Wow,
like
that
that.
is a lot.
Both pageants that year were very, very well represented around the state. But it was tough. It was tough.
it
That's
is.
why I didn't do it again.
Yeah.
Because I said, one person came in to me and said, all the other, I guess there are 5 judges,
Yes.
and 4 judges had left the room, and they were waiting for me to come out with my thing.
You weren't
right?
ready yet.
And I wasn't ready yet. So they thought I had to get it down to 10, and they thought I was trying to fit it to get it to up to 10. And they come in and said, come on, Bob, just pick 1 or 2 to get it to 10. I said, no, I'm stuck at 18.
It's hard.
I was stuck at 18. They're thinking I don't have enough to reach 10. I was stuck at 18.
Oh, no.
I couldn't get down from 18. I said, this is these girls. This is going to affect these girls. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want
You wanna
to
make the
not
right
pick
decision.
a girl. You know.
Yeah.
I said I can find something good in every one of them. You know, because you did the interview, and right.
Yes.
So it was difficult. I didn't like doing it.
I don't blame you. It's probably very difficult.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
No, I just didn't like being the one that was going
The
to.
bearer of bad news.
But I was a bearer of good news because both my girls won.
There you go.
What do you got going? Any events? Have you done any events yet?
We've done a lot of events.
What have you done?
So we've done a lot of
Yeah,
the
we did them
same
together.
ones.
Oh, you go. Oh, that would make
Yes.
sense. yeah.
Yes.
What's
Do you
your
want to know my favorite one?
Yes.
So my favorite
yes.
event last month, I went to Austin, Texas, and I got to visit
Cut it
Sherry Hill.
out.
I did. It was my first time in Texas.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't know they did stuff like that.
Yep.
You went to Texas.
So there are a lot of opportunities for us to travel to other states
Now,
as
what
well.
month of the year was that?
December. That
Oh,
was
good. Not in the scalding August.
No, not in the hot weather down there. But it was last month, and I went to Texas to design and pick out my Miss USA gown.
Wow.
Yes, I met with designer Sherry Hill, and then I met with her on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday was the actual Miss Universe pageant. So she had this big viewing party for all of the different title holders to go. So there were a lot of Miss title holders from other states.
Yep.
So it was a nice opportunity to get to meet them for the first time.
Sure.
So that was my
And you?
favorite
Did you have
event.
to do anything like that?
Well, I had the opportunity to go, but with Christmas coming,
Sure.
being
And
around,
all
it was
your
hard.
organizations.
Yeah, it was right before Christmas.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was hard for me to go, and school and finals and things like that. But she had fun. I'm happy she.
And this year, normally, you would have been at my Toys for Tots telethon, but I didn't do it this year for the first time in 24 years.
Why
I didn't
not?
do
Why?
it. Between the knee, I had my knee replaced, and some other issues I had with and I'm going to talk about this. In fact, I should mention it, about the Marines in the last few years have dropped the ball. They haven't really been into it. It's a Marine deal, the Toys for Tots.
Yes.
And in my event, I don't know if you're familiar with it, at the Warwick Mall, I've done it again for 24 years. This would have been my 25th year, which is what everybody said. Bob, if you're going to quit, do your 25 years and quit after 25. I said, between the knee and the fact that I struggled with them for the last 3 or 4 years, they were not forthcoming. They weren't helpful. The boxes, number one, is a big issue with me. I put out 85 boxes around the state.
Wow.
And I'd call them for boxes, and we only got 25 for you. We don't have the boxes yet. And then they'd come in, and I gotta put them all out, and I'm a micromanager. So instead of, I don't like to say, hey, you go do this, you go do this. No, I do it.
Okay.
I go around, I put boxes out in Charlestown, Westerly, I put boxes in Cumberland and all over the state. But if I don't get and my event is usually the first Tuesday in December. Okay. So if I don't get the boxes till late November, guess what? They don't even want them a lot of places, and they're screaming at me already anyway. And I'd hear from the Marines and say, well, you don't have the boxes yet. Well, you know Christmas is coming again this year, like every other year. It always comes in December, and my event always comes in the first Tuesday of December. Because again, I had been doing it for 24 years. But the 21st, 22nd, 23rd year, and the 24th year, it was horrible. It was it's like they, and then I'd have, 1 year, I didn't have one Marine there at the event. A half an hour before the event, not one Marine was there. And in past years back, I had as many as 29 Marines lining the stage, all on the side of the stage. And I'll fill a tractor trailer plus in 4 hours because it's televised on TV. People can watch it on cable. And I'd have singers, I'd have all kinds of magicians and stuff coming on the stage. It's a great event. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it for years. But I just wasn't into it this past year. I just said, I can't do it. And don't you know, I got phone calls from people. Like one guy that usually takes 15 boxes. Wow. Right? And he fills them all. And you know, he's calling me in November 30th. Still hadn't got any boxes from the Marines. November 30th. You know, thing's almost over. And, and why doesn't he have it? So I called the Marines. He had trouble getting a hold of anybody. So I finally get a number that's good. And I get a hold of somebody, and he goes, I'm not doing it this year, so-and-so is. So give me his number. Gives me his number. I called the guy. He goes, you can get a hold of me anytime. Well, that was the only time I was able to get a hold of him. His phone just rang and rang and rang after that. But I said to him, this guy needs 15 boxes. This other guy needs 2. This guy needs 5. I don't have any boxes. I said, what do you mean you don't have any boxes? He said, we're all out. They're boxes. They're cardboard. How can you be all out? He said, well, I gave them all out. Oh, who'd you give them to? I didn't take 85 boxes this year, so where'd they go? You know, they're not doing their job. Because, you know what happens? Some poor guy gets thrust into it. He's not from Rhode Island. We've never had a guy from Rhode Island. It's always been somebody from Texas or Alabama or something. And it's always been some sergeant who, a lot of them, if they're family men, they're into it. If they're single guys, they don't want to be bothered. They'll do as little as they have to do, and that's what was happening.
I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of other Toys for Tots events throughout the state.
Yeah.
So I think they are still into it.
Well, not as good as they used to be. I can remember years ago we had some really, really good guys that were, really totally into the whole thing, and they would do every event that you wanted them to do. Like I had other events that I'd ask them to go to, and we used to have them. A lot of participation from the Marines, but some of them, I got a feeling, is your boyfriend a Marine?
He's not.
No, good.
No.
We went to an event.
Yeah, we actually went to a Toys for Tots event.
Did you? Where?
Thirsty Beaver.
In Cranston.
Thirsty Beaver, a bar.
A restaurant.
A restaurant bar. But yeah, you would have an easier time getting a young guy to a restaurant bar than you would have him getting to a school or something. That's what was happening. I'm serious. That's what was happening.
Well, the crowd was a variety of different ages. It wasn't just one specific age category.
I know, but I have found that they were not as good as they used to be. So it just kind of was a turnoff to me. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it.
Maybe next year.
Well, it might happen. It might happen if I can get to, and that's why I'm talking about, because I want to embarrass them into
embarrass them?
Yes, I do. I do. Because the Marines are the greatest, but these guys just fell on their face, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I had people calling me all through Christmas season asking me, oh, how come we can't get a hold of anybody? We can't get phone numbers. Nobody's answering our calls. They won't even answer the emails. That's what's happening. A lot of people were complaining about that. I'm serious. I got a lot of calls from people that I knew. It's sad. It's unfortunate, but
It's always next year.
you think so?
Yes.
Sounds like the old Red Sox. That's what they used to say in the Red Sox years ago before they started winning. It's always next year. Are you football fans?
I am.
You're a football fan? The Patriots?
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
right,
course.
yes.
I actually went to my first live football games this year
Did
at
you?
Gillette. Yes.
Yeah?
It was so
How
much
was the
fun.
weather? How was the weather?
It was honestly not as cold as you think that it was going to be. So I went
Yeah.
to a game in November, and then I went to the one the day before Christmas Eve. And that one I was preparing for the worst. I
Right.
layered so much, and it actually wasn't
It
that
wasn't
cold.
cold?
It wasn't.
Wow. That's lucky. I've
It
been
is.
I've been to quite a few games over the years. Not very recently, but I was at a snow game one time.
Really?
A snow sleet game, which is worse.
Wow.
The snow's not too bad, but when
When
it's
it starts to rain,
and sleet,
then it gets
it's-
really cold.
It's bad. But you know what? I prepared for it, and better than that, I stopped at a job lot and I bought 10 ponchos.
Really?
Yeah.
So you went
And I got to
prepared.
the game, and not only did I have ponchos for me and the people I was with, but I bought 10 extra.
For everyone around you.
And I knew there'd be parents there that had kids there, and they weren't smart enough or prepared enough to think of it, and I was giving them out. People said, you should sell them to them. I'm not going to sell them to them. Somebody got a kid,
Yes.
you know, the little kid's got a, here, give this, here, put this on your kid. You know, I had 10
was very nice
ponchos.
of you.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I was only mad I didn't have 20 of them. But because they're only a couple bucks a piece.
Exactly.
you know?
They're very cheap.
Yeah, so I'm saying, you know, you should have thought about it yourself, guy, but they didn't. But who are they playing? They're playing the Chargers, right?
They are, yes.
Yeah. It's
Sunday.
going to be a tough team, you know. Chargers going to be a tough team.
I have faith.
I do too.
Yes.
And they're playing at home, which is good.
It is home field advantage.
We said your favorite event was what now?
In the pageant?
That's a pageant.
In the pageant, my favorite event would have to be evening gown. Yeah, I love
Really?
just getting to put the gown on. During my state pageant, I wore this purple gown. It was a Fernando Wong dress. And I actually met with Fernando, which was a really cool experience. I met him on my
Fernando.
birthday, yes.
Yeah?
So I love that dress. So hopefully my Miss USA gown tops that one. But you'll have to wait and see what that looks
is that
like.
from Texas? Your new gown coming from
My
Texas?
new gown is coming from Texas, yes.
Wow, wow.
So I'm very excited.
And your favorite event? Is
Same
Same
evening
thing?
gown. Yes, you feel very glamorous.
Very poised
Yeah.
and elegant.
Now, do you get to wear that gown any other time?
You can.
You definitely can. I haven't, but maybe
Yeah.
there'll be an event in the future
Yeah.
where I get to wear
It's
it.
like a wedding gown.
It
You know,
is.
you wear it once and it stays in the closet.
I mean, it's definitely not something you can wear on a daily basis, but I'm sure another event will
Event, yeah.
occur where we can rewear
Well, you
them.
could have went to the governor's gala last weekend.
Could have.
You would have wore the gown, right?
Could have, yes.
Yeah, they're wearing gowns there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Saturday night. Yeah.
Something will occur.
Now, what do they still have, or which one is the one that doesn't have the bathing suit contest? Is it
Me.
you guys?
She does. I don't. So the teens don't do it.
Really?
We do like active wear now.
Oh,
So it's like you wear like leggings and a little top.
Sportswear.
Yes.
right.
It's
right.
more appropriate.
Oh, I can see that because some of the
Yes.
girls could be a little younger too,
Yes,
right? A teenager
yes.
could be a 13-year-old,
You
right?
could, yes.
It's more
Yeah, that
appropriate.
makes sense. That makes sense. But you still have the
I do. I
bathing
compete
suit
in
contest.
swimwear.
It's the other pageant.
The American
doesn't have it.
system doesn't.
The American system doesn't have it. What do you think of that idea?
I personally like competing in swimsuit. For me, it's really empowering. I mean, throughout my entire life, the past few years, I've kind of dealt with body image issues. So for me, getting on stage in a swimsuit in front of hundreds of people is a really empowering moment for me.
Wow.
Yes.
So we got a little issue too here. huh?
Yes, so everyone has something.
Everybody has something
exactly.
going on,
You never
yeah.
know someone's story.
That's true. That's true. And I hear them all. And you hear mine.
I do.
You
We
hear-
have.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has something. Nobody in this
Nobody's
world is
perfect.
perfect.
Nope.
Nobody is perfect. You find that out as you go through life.
you can't judge
a
a
lot of
book by
people
its
think they
cover.
are, but nobody's perfect in life.
Deep down, there's always something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think they took away from the pageant, the other pageant, by not having a swimsuit.
I still watched the pageant. I thought it was a great production.
Yeah.
So, with swimsuit or out, I thought it was still good.
Now, which one's the Trump pageant?
This
Trump
one.
used to own
Yeah.
the Miss Universe organization.
But not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, now it's owned by Paula Shugart.
Oh,
Yes. So she was still on the board of directors of the Miss Universe organization while Trump was still on, but now she took over.
oh, cool.
Yes.
Now, have you ever been in front of a camera other than here?
We were on the Rhode show.
Oh,
We were.
Yeah.
About a week after we were crowned, we were
Oh,
both
that's
on the
right.
Rhode
Of
show
course you were.
together.
That's right. I do remember seeing a piece of that.
Yes, that was a lot of fun as
Yes,
well.
it was cool.
I didn't see it because I'm working at the time, but I did see a clip or something of you guys on that show. Who'd you like on that show? Or not like?
What do you mean?
The guest, the host. Who interviewed you?
Oh, what was his name? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I honestly forget his name.
Really?
But he's very pleasant, very nice man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
The bald
funny.
guy.
No.
No, it was not him.
Oh, it was the younger guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Darker hair.
Black-haired guy. I can't remember his name now. He's been on here too, actually.
He was
Really?
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did a show like this. He used to do a show
Really?
like this before. Yeah, before he started, he did a show that was on just before my show, just after my show years ago. He's out of Bristol, I think. Yeah, and that's how he started doing this
cool.
stuff,
Yeah.
doing this very same thing.
Got to work your way up somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you got to get used to it. You got to get comfortable in front of a camera, and it's
definitely.
good. It's always good, especially what you're doing, you know, because you could conceivably end up doing something in front of a
never
camera
know.
at times, like that, right? You set yourself. I know. I feel like I needed a phone book underneath me when I was sitting here. All right. All right. I'm going to ask you one of these questions. Who is your biggest inspiration?
So my biggest inspiration is my Uncle Mickey. He was born with cerebral palsy, and even though he can't walk and can't talk, he has never let his disability define him as a person. So he's the one that actually inspired me to get involved with Best Buddies. I'm actually also involved with Special Olympics, and I've been involved with
that's
those
good.
since high school. So he's inspired me to get involved with those organizations, and he's just the most happy person that I've ever met in my entire
Really?
life. Yes, he's the rock of my family, so
Oh,
he's
that's
my
cool.
inspiration.
Yeah,
We
that's
love
cool.
him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He comes to our events
Yeah, he
sometimes.
came to the.
Well, you know where the Special Olympics auction is held? Right here.
Really?
In the studio. In fact, I think that's one of their benches or something. All their stuff's behind those curtains. Yeah, they hold that. The Special Olympics is put on right here. Not the Olympics. But
Yes.
the auction for the rate where they raise the money is right here. In this studio they have since they started. I remember the guy, one of the guys that was directly involved in it. I think he still is involved in coming here in the studio when I was in the studio at the same time, you know. I had a show like the night before, and they come in to set up for because they changed the whole layout here. They put their stuff all the way around this whole thing. They have they're all made up sections. It's pretty cool. They put it all around here. Well, that's pretty nice. That's pretty good.
It's cool.
So you know him too, then, obviously.
Yes.
Yes,
I met
he's
him
come to a
once.
few of our events.
And your hobbies, we might as well get to. I never did get to that. I didn't ask either one of you your hobbies.
Do you want to start?
What kind of hobbies?
Hobbies? What do you
okay.
do? What do you do? Oh, well,
I-
I mean, you're into so much stuff. I don't think you have time for hobbies.
I like to draw. So I'm in like an AP program at my school.
See, I hate people that have talent like that
Why?
Why is that?
because it's terrible. I can't draw a box.
What?
I can't draw a
Practice. You have
rectangle.
to practice.
Yes.
No,
Practice.
I mean you can draw. You can like draw like people and
Yes.
faces and stuff like
He's a
that.
very
Yes.
good artist.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
I
You
love
gotta
it.
practice.
No, there's no way I could do that.
It's a very
There's no way.
You never know until you try.
I tried.
no practice
So
does
go
make
ahead.
perfect. I was always good at art, but like obviously as I've proceeded through my career,
Yeah.
I've gotten better. So like by this year, I feel like I'm really good. This is my best year.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you draw best?
I like
People?
drawing people.
Or, oh, you do?
Yes. I don't know. I like copying from a picture
Yeah.
and like making my own.
But not like a person in front of you? And
No, I don't like doing that.
No?
Mm-mm. I like picture and then I just copy it. Like I just did an eye. I like that one. That came out cool.
Do an eye.
Drew an eye.
Do an eye.
Yeah.
Like CBS. That's the symbol. They
logo.
have an eye.
Oh.
That's their
Oh,
logo.
oh, oh.
An eye.
Well, a realistic eye.
A real eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My eye.
And your hobby. Or hobbies.
I would say one of my hobbies is traveling. During my
love
junior,
traveling.
me too. During my junior year of college, I actually studied abroad in Florence, Italy. So I was really thankful for that
I
experience.
want to go to Italy in
Really?
May. Yes.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm undecided whether I want to fly to Italy and hit this place and that place, or fly to Italy and get on a cruise ship and then hit a bunch of stop cities in
Okay.
Italy and maybe France and
Well,
wherever.
what's great about Europe is that it's really cheap to travel once you're actually
Right.
there.
There.
So even one of my flights from Italy to Spain was only like 70 euro, so it is really cheap.
That's about
and
95 bucks, right? Yeah,
about that.
95 bucks. Yeah.
About that, and then even the trains are really accommodating, and
Yeah,
the bus
because you
systems.
can get a train ticket for like a month, right?
I believe
a
so.
Euro pass,
Yep.
they
Yep.
call
There's
it?
all different like passes that you could get
Right.
while you're there, but you definitely have to make your way to Italy. It was my
Yeah.
favorite.
Now, Florence, where else did you
I
go
studied
to
abroad.
besides Florence?
I studied abroad in Florence, but I traveled to 6 countries and 21 cities while I was there.
Good for you.
So I was there for 4
Wow.
months, and I really just
I know.
You got to do
lived
that.
it up.
She loved it.
I
Yeah?
loved it so much.
Oh, I can
Yeah, I'm so
imagine.
thankful for the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, I like only Asia.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, I like Asia.
Have you been?
Oh yeah.
How many
yeah,
times have
few
you been?
Times, 3. Yeah.
What's your favorite part?
Oh, I like Thailand.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Thailand.
beautiful
Talk
there.
about cheap. Oh my God, it's so
Really?
inexpensive over
Really?
there. It's crazy. You can stay in a real nice hotel for like 75 bucks a night.
Really?
I mean,
Oh
a
my
real
gosh.
nice hotel.
Wow.
You can stay in a good hotel for 50 bucks a night and includes your full breakfast in the morning.
Wow.
Everything. Juice, coffee, tea, the whole thing. And an American breakfast, or you can have their kind of
Oh,
breakfast.
that's
But-
awesome. So is
oh,
the
yeah.
flight like the most expensive thing?
Yeah, the flight and the time takes it's a long flight.
Really?
It's a
How
very
long was it?
flight. Oh, it's like
It's like-
22
yeah.
hours, 24 hours total.
I could never.
No, well, it's not one flight.
Yeah, it's
Like
stop.
you do-
Connecting
One
and-
segment is 13 or 14 hours. That's the longest section. And then you do like a 7-hour and a 2, or no, a 2, like flying from here to Chicago is 2 hours, and then Chicago to Tokyo is 13 hours, and then a layover, a couple, 3 hours, and then Tokyo to Bangkok's another 7 hours. I mean, that's the killer. But once you get there,
It's all worth it.
It is nothing. Their money's called baht, B-A-H-T.
Okay.
And first time I was there, I wanted to take a ride on a tuk-tuk around town. Tuk-tuk's it's a motorcycle
yeah. Okay.
and 3 people in the back.
Really cool.
Yeah, and they have a roof on it.
Oh,
so
I've
if it
seen
rains,
those. Like a little golf cart.
yeah, almost. Yeah, except it's got one wheel in the
Yeah.
front, and the driver is on the. It's a motorcycle with
Very
this
cool.
cot in the back, right? And like those cots they pull and run with, but this has got a
Okay.
motor on it. They got
Very
a
cool.
motorcycle attached to it instead of somebody running with it, right? And I asked the guy. I says, "How much? Give me a ride around Bangkok for an hour." He goes, 30 baht. I went, and I'm pretty good at math, and pretty quick at math. I said, 30 baht. No, you mean 300 baht. He goes, no, 30 baht. I says, come on, you mean 300 baht. You got to take me around for an hour for 30 baht. He goes, 30 baht? I said, so I think he's just,
Don't question
I think
it.
he's just messing up. So I said, well, wait, how about 2 hours? Figuring he's got to finally figure it out. He meant to say 300 baht, and then he's got to say 600 baht. He goes, 60 baht? Are you dope? I said, 60 baht. You're going to ride me around here for 60 baht. 60 baht's like $1.50,
Wow.
$1.60. Because it's 38 baht to the dollar at the time.
Wow.
So 30 baht was about 80 cents. Saying, this is crazy.
That's very cheap.
I had a couple of suits made. I had 5 fittings over a 5-day period. I went back. They even fitted me for the lining a separate day. It was crazy.
Wow.
And I picked the Italian wool cashmere. They cost me $125 a piece for the suits.
Wow.
Yeah. If I used cheaper material, it would have been 100 or 80 bucks. It might have been, but it's unbelievable. Once you get there, you can't spend money over there. Everything is so cheap. I was buying
Once you
ice cream
start, you're
cones,
not gonna wanna
17
stop.
cents. 17 cents for an ice cream cone.
Oh no.
Wow.
That's what
You
it
can't
costs.
pass it up.
I would
It's
have
crazy. I
too
mean, you can go.
many ice cream.
You can go see any movie, first run movie that they have over here. It used to be $1. I think it's probably up to $1.50 or $2 now. Any of the movies that are just out, they get them right away. In fact, I brought back 30 movies that were just either coming
on
out
like a
or just
disc.
came out here, but hadn't come out in DVD yet. They just
Oh,
come
okay.
out in the movies.
Very cool.
Hadn't come out on DVD. They had them pirated, and their malls. If you like shopping, their malls make our malls look like garages.
Yeah, they're huge.
Really?
The malls are very big. 5-story mall is very common over there.
We'll have to-
It's great meeting you, young ladies.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you for having us.
Congratulations on winning, and congratulations on
Thank you.
life. And you guys will do well. I can
Thank
see
you
it.
very
Thank
much.
you.
I'm sure of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for spending an hour with us.